All right, today we are diving into a really fascinating battle of ideas. We've got the hard science of quantum physics on one side, and on the other, this popular belief that our minds can actually shape our reality. So, are these two things secretly connected, or are they just worlds apart? Let's find out. You've probably heard this before. This is the absolute core idea behind the law of attraction, that our whole state of being, our very essence, is sending out some kind of signal to the universe. But what is that signal? Is it a physical wave, like from a radio tower? Or is it more of a psychological state? That's the huge question we're going to explore today. The idea that our consciousness has this direct line to the cosmos, it's incredibly popular. But how is this connection even supposed to work? Let's map out exactly how we're going to break this all down. Okay, let's dive right in. First, we're going to define our two big ideas on their own. Then we'll look at how people try to connect them. After that, we'll get a little reality check from mainstream science. Then we'll explore a really powerful psychological alternative. And finally, we'll weigh all the evidence to see where we land. So, to really get a grip on this debate, we first have to get super clear on the two main concepts we're juggling here: quantum field theory and the law of attraction. So on one side, you have this absolute cornerstone of modern physics. I mean, it describes the fundamental fabric of reality itself. And on the other, a popular belief all about the power of the mind. You can see right away they come from very, very different places. Okay, so according to quantum field theory, the universe isn't made of tiny, solid billiard balls flying around. Instead, you gotta imagine it's filled with these invisible, overlapping fields. There's an electron field, a photon field, and so on. What we think of as a particle is really just a little ripple, a little vibration of energy in its specific field. So, in a very real sense, everything is just vibrating energy. Now, the law of attraction, it kind of takes a similar idea about vibration and applies it straight to our minds. The thinking here is that our thoughts and our emotions also have a frequency. So if you broadcast joy, well, the universe is supposed to send joy right back at you. It's all about tuning your personal frequency to match whatever it is you desire. So we've got physical reality over here and mental creation over there. Now let's get to the real heart of it. How in the world do people try to build a bridge between these two things using the language of physics? Yeah, how does a spiritual concept try to anchor itself in fundamental science? Well, the people who believe in this make a few really key arguments. Now, what's really interesting is how these concepts get mapped onto each other. Proponents hear everything is energy from physics, and they say, see, our thoughts are vibrations too. They'll point to something called the observer effect as proof that our consciousness literally shapes reality. And they use this strange idea of quantum entanglement as a kind of metaphor for how we're all connected to the things we desire. Okay, so we've seen the proposed connections. But how do these claims actually hold up when you put them under the rigorous lens of mainstream physics? While the consensus among physicists is pretty clear, they see this connection as being based on a pretty fundamental misunderstanding of what quantum mechanics is all about. While the concepts themselves are totally real, applying them to our thoughts and our desires is a leap that the actual evidence just doesn't support. Physicists push back on every single one of these connections. They're quick to clarify that, yes, thoughts are energy, but they're electrochemical signals inside your brain. They're not vibrations you can broadcast out into the universe to attract things. And that observer effect, it doesn't require a conscious human. Any interaction with a measuring device counts as observation. And as for quantum entanglement, as weird as it is, it absolutely cannot be used to send information or manifest a new car in your driveway. And this really gets to the core of the problem. Quantum rules, they govern the incredibly strange world of subatomic particles. Our everyday world, you, me, this chair, it operates according to different rules, the rules of classical physics. So trying to apply the rules of one to the other is, as scientists say, like trying to use the rules of chess to play a game of basketball. They're just different games. So if the quantum physics explanation just doesn't hold up, does that mean the whole thing is a bust? Well, not so fast. A lot of people genuinely feel that the law of attraction works for them. So let's explore a different scientific field that might actually have an explanation: psychology. I mean, the experiences people are reporting are real. So if it's not the universe physically rearranging itself around their thoughts, then what in the world is going on? Well, it turns out psychology has some really compelling alternative explanations.
And this is brilliant because it shows how our own minds can create the very effects we might mistake for some kind of cosmic attraction. When you focus intensely on a goal, your brain literally starts filtering the world differently. It starts to notice things that align with that goal. That's confirmation bias. And when you believe you'll succeed, it can actually change your behavior, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. And of course, the whole practice forces you to do something absolutely crucial, to get crystal clear on what you actually want.
We've journeyed through the cosmos of quantum fields and into the inner worlds of the human mind. So now let's bring it all together and just summarize the two competing explanations for this really powerful phenomenon.
So we are left with two very different explanations. The quantum view, it suggests an external mechanism. Your thoughts are physically acting on the universe. The psychological view, though, points to an internal one. Your thoughts are acting on you. They change your focus, they change your actions, and that is what changes your reality. Both can change your life, for sure, but the engines are fundamentally different.
And that really leaves us with the final question. Is this whole thing about mastering some kind of universal frequency? Or is it about mastering the powerful, and let's be honest, maybe equally mysterious mechanisms of our own psychology? The answer might just change how you see both the universe and yourself. Thanks for joining me on this one.